Here we have a trade review of ticker symbol CNC, and this one came on the scanners the end of yesterday, which was right here, and it was pretty easy to see that we had a really big, really quick move up. Never really took a break. It tried to there and tried to there, but the bulls just stepped back in and pushed price way up. So we've had a pretty volatile move up, and we've come up into this general area here. It's almost like a supply zone. However, when looking for support and resistance, it was pretty easy just to look left and see that there's plenty of horizontal support to back this signal up. This was a bearish signal, and we got this level, right in here that we're good with, and in there, and of course the yearly highs right there. We didn't quite get up to it. Let me zoom in a little more so you can make this, so this will be clear. All right, so this level right there, we're at it. And remember, I know we're not bouncing right at it, but I'm looking at where price is, where it closed at, and also where the trigger would be at. And in this case, yes, the trigger would definitely be below that. We come up to this level right here, and that's pretty much right where the high of this peak was right there. So I was very confident in the resistance on this trade. I actually had it listed as major resistance simply because it was right here at the yearly highs, and it was a mountain to river setup. So immediately it met the requirements. It was a mountain river setup. It had good resistance, and put it on the watch list and moved it to the active watch list the morning of the trade. And all we had to do was wait to see if it got triggered, which it did. It got triggered, and the trigger we were looking for was we needed to see price break 86.9, which means up here I needed to, and I know that's very close, and you'll see when we get to exit strategies how we did this. Excuse me. So we needed to see 86.9 break, which means right here I needed to see 86.89 print. That would mean that the candle itself actually broke through the trigger, not just the bid or the ask, but the actual printed price. So we triggered. I'm trying to remember. I think it was pretty early. We'll step back into the 1 minute in just a little bit, but triggered pretty early, and we, again, I say this in every video, but the technical analysis side of this, the analyzing the potential trades and the trigger, all of that is predetermined before the market opens. It's something that we go over each and every morning in the war room. If you're interested, visit armortrades.com, and you can find some of these trades that I break down. Or you can find all the ones that I break down because I go over them in the war room each and every morning. Go over our potential setups and everything. So up to that point, when we trigger, we're good. And also, it's good to note we did have a gap here. And on gaps, I think I've gone over videos with gaps before. But in this situation with a gap, what I needed to see was price pull up to 86.9. I needed to see that gap close all the way up to our trigger, and then we can enter. I did that pretty early. Then we just got to decide how to exit. Now, there are always three that I go over in each and every trade review. These are not the only three ways to exit. It's just to give you an idea, just to kind of give you a basis, a good platform to let you decide how you want to exit. Everything else is determined for you with Armor Trading Systems, but I'm not going to tell anybody, when they should take profit. That is completely up to you and up to your personality and up to just the type of trader that you are. So let's go over some exit strategies here. After this triggers, the first exit strategy we will go over is scaling out into previous support or resistance. And this is also assuming that you are using the recommended stop that I use or that I recommend in the war room each morning, which it never got triggered. We never got stopped out on this trade, even though it did go against us a little bit. Never really had anything to worry about as far as that goes. Uh, so the first level that I was looking at was right around, and it never quite got to it, was around that $86 level right in there. This level also intrigued me, 86.40, simply because just the way price reacted around it, where a little bit there, not so much, but right here, right at it, and then the 2 and 3 days later, it barely broke it and pulled back. So did mention this, but it wasn't as good looking to me as this 86 level, as you can see from over here, and how many times 86 was tested and just price reacted very well to it. I did feel if it got down to 86, price would bounce. However, it didn't quite happen. So in that case, you could have either taken that very first one that I mentioned. Even though I didn't recommend taking it, I did bring it up. If you did not do that, then what you could do is, as price moves with us in this trade, and it doesn't look like much on the daily, but you'll see what it looks like on the 1 minute in just a little bit. We also got to think this is from 86.9. That's moved, 70 or 65 cents on an $86 stock. That was that, and we can look up here at the ranges. The ranges are, so 65 cents was more than half of the day's range is what we could have gotten right there. Excuse me. Again, right there, only $1.47. That was a really big day. $4, but $1.69, $1.89. You get the point. Doesn't have huge range, so capturing 30, 40, 50, 60 cents would have been a good trade. So if you were looking to scale out into resistance and that did not happen, you could really, there's a couple options. The first being is to change your strategy a little bit and just kind of play it by ear. And when price moved down, as it started coming back up, be willing to take some of your profit. Don't let that winning trade become a losing trade. If this is the type of exit strategy you choose. You can also move your stop down to make sure that you don't lose money. And that at worst case, maybe you break even, or even if you lose money, it's just a little. It's not anything compared to what your max loss would be, which is also predetermined before the market opens. We know exactly how much we're going to lose on each and every trade if it goes 100% against us, which is a nice feeling. It's very reassuring to know that. So, again, change your exit strategy, change your mindset if you want to, or the other option, just to be honest, is to move your stop down and just let it ride, see what happens. Probably would have got stopped out on this one. However, there was definitely chance for really good profit on this trade, really, really good profit. The second exit strategy would be to, when it triggers, enter the trade and then set your stop and let it ride throughout the day and just see what happens. Now, with this, I know that sounds crazy, but I promise you that does work. It definitely works with this, because everything that Armor Trading Systems has going for it, as far as the what we're looking at before we actually even place the trade, is that many times when we do trigger, it does continue to move in the direction that we are expecting it to. And that's a really good feeling, really cool thing to see when it happens. On this particular trade, obviously, we know 86.9 was our trigger. You would have lost, anywhere because of the spread and the bid and the ask, anywhere between like 1 and 5 or 6 cents is what you would have lost using that exit strategy, which definitely would have been manageable. if you can't handle that, then you're trading with way too much size and need to change some things. Very manageable on that. However, I will show you as we get into the 1 minute what ended up happening with me. Because that is, I will, for this trade, that is the exit strategy that I use. I was going to let it ride and see what happened. Let's jump into the 1 minute to go over scalping. But before we do that, I'm going to show you what ended up happening on my entry. So remember, 86.9 was our trigger, which was right here. And we can see what happened. It opened here, pushed down, and then started rising up very rapidly, all in the same minute. Blew through our trigger, and I actually got filled at 87.31, nearly at the top. The high was 87.32. My fill was at 87.31. It's just the way it happened with the volatility of the morning, that this happened really quick. By the time it triggered and I placed my order and everything, it was way up here. That's literally how fast it happened. 87.31 was where I got filled. So even on that 86.91, I still profited 40 cents on this trade, which was a really good trade. Again, we know that the entire range of the day was $1.25, and I made exactly 40 cents off of that day. I was really happy with that. So from a scalping standpoint, there are really, I guess it really again depends on when you got filled. And I'm gonna say that because I know what I'm doing with this system. I know when to enter. As soon as things trigger, I'm usually entering. And I got filled way up here. So if you got filled way up here, you definitely had opportunity to profit. From there to the low there was, nearly the same thing, almost 40 cents. Let's just say even 30 cents or 35 cents. Did come up, back down again to around that 40-cent mark. Then it went up and went against you from where I entered. It was against us 21 cents or 20 cents. And then began falling again and got really low to the 86.20s. But from a scalping standpoint, you still had opportunity. And that is what the whole point of doing this trade review is, and here what we do at Armor Trading Systems is that it's about the opportunity to make money, and it just depends on the exit strategy and how you choose to exit. If you look at my other videos, you've seen trades where entering when we trigger and then just letting it ride throughout the day has worked out very well, and we've caught some really big runners. You've also seen some times where, like this, that scalping might have been the better play. You just have to decide what is best for you and what you enjoy, what fits your personality, and what takes stress off of you as a trader. You do that, I promise you, you will be on your way to success. That about wraps us up. So just want to say thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Again, thank you for watching, and God bless.